Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome back, Tattooed Summer. How are
Thank you.
you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for
Uh,
having me.
of course. I think this is like your 10th time. I think you're in double digits now.
If I'm not, I'm getting
You're
close.
getting close. I'm pretty sure this is 10. But welcome back. We're here to talk
Thank-
about horses today, and I couldn't think of anybody better to sit down and talk about horses with than you. So thank you so much for coming back.
yeah, thank you. And like super exciting. Yesterday, my good friend Witching Mermaid, her birthday was actually today, the day this
Today.
is filmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday she had her like subathon for her stream.
Hmm.
Um, did her shell challenge. You got entered into like a wheel
Hmm.
spin to win the new pack, and I won the new pack. So I don't even have to pay for new horses. I was like super excited about that yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I can't. I can't.
Oh,
Like you just saved my husband $40 because that was gonna be my anniversary present.
oh my God,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Before we dive in though, for anyone who's new, welcome. And my returning listeners, you guys are awesome. Tattooed, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, so I go by Tattoo Timmer on socials. My real name is Alicia. I grew up in the Midwest in the United States on a farm, so I grew up riding horses from the time, I don't know. I think my mom said my grandpa put me on a horse when I was like 6 months old or something, like when I could sit, by myself.
Yep.
So forever. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. Like they were all as old as I am or older.
Hmm.
So they're gone now. And I don't have the space or the time or
Yeah.
the money, frankly, to keep them. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm excited to be back and to talk about horses.
I'm excited to have you back with horses because, like I was saying before we started, I am like as far as a non-horse girl you can possibly get. I've only been on a horseback once, and it was such a negative experience that I'm like, I'm
Uh,
good.
See,
I
I've had my share of negative experiences. They're kind of like brought on myself. Like I kind of have like perpetual back problems because I chose to keep getting on a horse that I knew I shouldn't have keep getting on, but
Mhm.
that's my own problem.
I love that. Now that Sims come this is out at midnight. So come 11 hours from now, we're gonna have horses in the Sims Park. Like, how are you feeling that it's like we're getting horses?
Yeah, super excited. I didn't want to believe it until like because the CD keys were released and things like that. I didn't want to believe that.
Hmm.
Um until I saw like the normal leaks that we get. I was like, I don't want to get my hopes up until it's a real thing. But I'm super excited for it, and I'm super excited that it looks like they brought in little bits of like all aspects of it.
Hmm.
So when we did the roundtable about the summit, I talked about
Yeah.
how I didn't know how they were gonna do like the separate portions of it, but it looks like they kind of maybe separated it a little bit, and then um, I'm just curious to see how it works in the world. I watched the live stream a little bit yesterday. I didn't watch it like a crazy amount, but it
Hmm.
looked nice from what I saw.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I kind of did like a little snippet this morning of being like, I have to have at least some knowledge of what's gonna be in this pack. I like what I see. It's very like Montana, very like
Yeah,
Western base farm. I'm just excited for unicorns. Okay. Like that is what got I want my fucking Pegasus. Okay. I
yeah,
cannot wait for the because obviously you can have like the CC like wings on the bottom. I saw that. Also, I'm excited for all my Little Pony girls making their fucking ponies
yeah.
in the
Okay, so
Sims.
how like touch with Cass I am. I was watching the live stream and I was like, oh my gosh, you can have stencils to paint on your horses. And my friends were like, you can do that with dogs and cats. And I was like, oh, okay, well,
That's how little I play with pets in The Sims. It's like ridiculous. I saw that.
that's why I told them I play with pets, but like the way that I play with pets is like I either adopt the pets
Yeah.
or I get like a purebred because I've always wanted like a Dalmatian, so I have a Dalmatian, or I've always wanted a Husky, so I get a Husky, or something like that. Um, or I try to make the craziest mutt dog I can imagine, and that's my dog. Like that's how I play. I don't draw on them all fancy because I'm not an artist. So,
Yeah.
but
No. Also, who
no,
has that much time to sit there?
that's for
Sorry.
people. People out there are crazy talented, and that's what the gallery is.
Oh my God, 100%. That's anytime I need a pet, I'll just be like corgi into the gallery. Or when I was doing like Scooby Doo stuff, and I was like Scooby Doo gallery.
Right.
I don't have that much skill.
The only time I painted one was to make one look like my dog, just because
Okay.
so I like painted her face to make her face look like my dog. So like,
Mhm.
I might do that. I might, do the base color for the because I'm sure that's what they'll have. That's
Yeah.
how I assumed it was whenever they released them. It was gonna be whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, so they're gonna be like cats and dogs. Like you can choose um a kind of horse and then a color to go along with it, and then go from there or mix them. I don't know if they'll have do we don't have mules and donkeys. No, they haven't shown.
No. Wait, I haven't seen any. I was thinking the same thing because we know we're getting baby goats,
Right.
but
So donkeys, so like a mule is a horse and a donkey, right?
okay. Yeah.
So they didn't show donkeys, so I don't assume that we'll have either of those things. It'll probably just be the different kinds of horses.
Yeah. What so like how many horse kinds are out there? Like I know again, nothing. The only horses I know are the Budweiser horses.
Okay, yeah. So there's a bunch of different kinds. I couldn't tell you exactly how many. I would have to hold on. I can Google it. Guys. Um I would have to Google how many horse types there are. I know of some of them. So the Budweiser ones are Clydesdales.
Okay.
Um they're huge. Like if you ever stand next to one, their head, like the bottom of their head is like at the top of your head, and I'm like, 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Like their entire leg is probably like as tall as you are. They're ginormous. And then there's like middle horses, which are draft horses, which are like
Okay.
um I don't know, they're like old horses that people would use to like pull things on the farm, just like because they can take a lot of like work and maintenance and things like that. Most horses, um, what people think of when they think of horses are like quarter horses.
Okay.
That's what like most people own. Those are just like I can't remember why they're called that, just because I think that's the amount they can sprint like a quarter mile before they
Okay.
like the maximum amount of their speed. And then thoroughbreds are like racing horses, right? So what you see in the Kentucky Derby and things like that. And then there's Arabian horses, which are like super fancy.
Okay.
They use those in like dressage, which is like that horse dancing thing that you see.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so so yeah, and then there are some colors that are also types of horses. Like Appaloosa is a color, but it's also a type of horse. So like you can't unless you like crossbreed them, you can't get that color.
Okay.
It's kind of it's kind of weird. But most of them can come in like a bunch of different colors. Um, so there's like Palomino, which is kind of like one you see in the trailer, which is like the golden one with the blonde mane.
Okay.
Those are Palomino horses. I had a bay horse, which is like the super dark brown horses with the black manes.
Okay.
Um, and then Appaloosas are the ones that I said they're the ones that have like the spots all over their butts. Um, so it's like there's a crazy amount of colors that you can have in like every kind of horse essentially. But yeah, so I'm curious to see how many kinds of horses that they put in the game. Like, can you have a Clydesdale or a draft horse, or um, like how many different kinds are there, or like how many of the different colors are there. So it's going to be like that for me with cats and dogs. Like I always wanted um a certain color of horse. Like the paint horses are the ones with the dots all over, but those
Okay.
can be different colors. They can be black and white or red and white, which is also got its own name, or the palomino and white. Like they can be crazy. So I'm curious to see how it's done in the game.
Okay. I
They
completely
try
got you.
cats and dogs with like the mixed breeding
Mhm.
to do it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, again, amazing. I was like, aren't horses stallions? Isn't it like that is like again how little knowledge of horses I have. It's not fun. Like if you Googled if you asked a small child about a horse, they would probably know more than I do.
No, it's I mean, I didn't know a lot of it until I got into like I mean we had them and I rode them things when I was a kid, and like my mom would take me on trail rides and stuff. Um but I was a part of we have this group called 4-H in the United States.
Okay.
Um and it's for a bunch of things. Like you can do arts and crafts, photography, like whatever you want. People think of it as mainly like a rural club that people are a part of, but I showed and raced horses in that. And
Okay.
in order to like move up and to like go to like the state fair, you have to like take tests and be a part of different competitions and things like that. So I had to like learn a lot more about a lot of the
Mm.
bit. That's like the only reason why. That's the only reason why. But yeah.
No, that's awesome. So like what part of the horse pack are you the most excited about and why?
Um, I think I'm most excited about the fact that I think it's opening up the world a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like you can get on your horse with your friends or your
Yes.
house or whatever and like ride around and do things and like go out as a household like and watch it instead of picking go on vacation and then you have to like watch the loading screen until you get to vacation, and then you can walk around the world a little bit and do whatever you want on vacation. But yeah, I think that'll be fun, or to see how maybe if they have like a competition, because they have that huge, I saw the huge lot, the 64 by 64.
Mm-hmm.
See if maybe they have like a competition type thing where you could go like watch a rodeo or something like that. I don't know. So I don't know how like deep it's going to go. I think that's what I'm most looking forward to, is like seeing how deep they took it,
Okay.
to see, because there's a lot of things they could do with it. I just want to see what directions they kind of like took it in.
Okay. What could they do with it? Because the only experience I have with horses is watching Yellowstone and going to a rodeo and literally having people on like an unbroken stallion or something trying to stay on their horse for like 10 seconds
Yeah.
and win like 10 grand. Like that is
I
like literally my knowledge
Spirit,
of rodeos.
my movie as a kid, like that Spirit movie where the stallion and the native were like butting
Mhm.
heads until I can't remember exactly how the story went, but it's a DreamWorks movie and it was like my favorite movie when I was a kid. Um, but I want to see if you can do that. I want to see if you can like do you have to will there be horses? I know when you adopt them you have to like get to know them, but like how bad is it? So like
Okay.
if you have a really high riding skill already and you adopt a horse, do you automatically ride them well, or do some horses start out like misbehaved and you have to kind of train them?
Okay.
That part of it is because you can train dogs, right?
Yeah.
So is training them a part of it? Like I feel like they could add that in there, and that would be a part of it. I saw horseshoeing on a thing of it, so I don't know if that may be like a
Okay.
um what are the side jobs that they have? Like the part-time jobs,
Yeah,
or
like
what?
the part-time jobs that like teenagers can have, or if you just want like a part-time job.
Yeah, you don't want to have to do, or you have to do that. Like, do you have to, because I mean, that's a real thing. You have to get their hooves groomed or it can be like really bad.
Oh
Um,
shit.
yeah, so like their hooves are basically like our fingernails. They'll grow for their entire lives. And if you don't trim them, then it causes like severe bone issues for them, like and joint issues to where they can't walk and things like
Mhm.
that. Or they just get like a crazy amount of like mud and things stuck in the bottom of their hoof and you have to like clean that out. So it's like how much of there are a lot of maintenance. Horses are very high maintenance animals.
Yes.
They cost a lot of money and they're very high maintenance animals. So it's like there's a lot that could be done with the pack, and there's no way that they could ever, you know, the same with any
No.
packs. People are gonna complain like, oh, well, you didn't put this in it, and you didn't put this in it. It's like I understand that. Like I wanted to know. I saw there's like two styles of horseback riding. So there's like Western, which is like what you see on Yellowstone with the saddles and the horns and things like that.
Yep.
And then there's English, and those are like small saddles. They don't have horns. They just have the reins.
Okay.
Kind of more like jockey saddles, if you think
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that like leap over the poles and do that sort of thing. Whereas like Western is bale racing and roping and things like that. So I saw in the live stream that they do have like the two separate saddle choices, where they have like multiple saddle choices that you can put on your horse. So they did do like both of the different styles, which I think is cool. I think it would have been a shame to like, this is America. It's, based in America. We're gonna do everything Western except for we're gonna put your, you know, obstacles and your events in the game, but we're not gonna put like the rest of your stuff in the game. So
Yeah.
like they'll have like I saw like the hats and the saddles and things like that. So you can choose like
Okay.
which one you want to do, I think. But even though the rest of the pack is super Western based and not, I think they still also have the like English style boots though too,
Okay.
uh, like both sets of
Because like
those.
because when I think of horseback riding, I think of like a rodeo Yellowstone, or I think of like
Right.
prestigious England where they have like the high
Right.
boots and the jacket and the jockey and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were kind of, I guess, super different. I just associated like, oh, cool, it's just a different way how to do a sport on a horse. I guess that's the best way to put
Yeah.
it.
It is. But yeah, it's just two different styles, and like I'm sure they have Western riding in Europe because people do English riding over here.
Hmm.
Like they had it as part of like the competitions I was a part of. I just didn't know how to do it, so I didn't do it. But yeah, so I'm just excited to see what all features they actually added. Because I also saw that you can like just stop and graze, like if there's a patch of grass, like you can
Oh.
get off your horse and stop and graze, or like maybe if you're in um one of the worlds that has one of the rivers that you can walk into, they can
Hmm.
stop and drink, um or something like that. So I thought that was super cool also.
That's cool. I'm curious to
Yeah.
see, because I'm gonna use like eventually I'm gonna get horses. I'm getting so much flack for it being on my wedding registry. Okay, I
I was
want,
I was gonna say, can I get it for you since you sent me a wedding invite? Will you send me your registry?
yes, a
Yes.
100%. Because they were like,
Now
oh,
I don't have to buy it.
well, because I wasn't gonna buy it until after the wedding because like all of my finances are tied up right now.
Oh,
Oh,
oh yeah.
fuck yeah! Like I am literally I'm like I have like $8 to my name to like spend. It's all on LOC. It's all on credit cards right now because everything is so tied up with like
Yeah.
paying stuff. So, but the wedding registries come out and they're like, oh, like you have the Sims on there. And I was like,
We've lived together. I don't need silverware. I don't.
right? Like we've been living together since 2017. Yeah, we have plates, we have bowls, we have fucking spoons, we have knives, we have all the shit. We've been living together.
Yeah.
I don't have horses.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Because like, so what my plan is to have a video of it, of like the wedding, of having like a streaming version and having anybody who wants to stream it watch it. And I'm like, yeah, if you guys like want to watch me get married on a screen, I'm definitely not going to say no.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I got married during COVID, so it was
yeah.
fine.
Absolutely. But no, I'm really excited for horses. I'm just more sorry for the storyteller aspect of it. I've done
Yeah,
nothing but complain for 2 years of just like the CC of it just not being good. I cannot wait till the fucking my pose creators get onto those horses. Oh my god, we're actually gonna
yeah,
have real things. The
yeah,
only thing I have questions for is so obviously a horse is going to take a spot, I have to assume, in your household. I have to assume that. So like can the horse just like come into your house and just be like I'm curious to see if that's going to be the case.
yeah. I didn't. Yeah,
Cuz
maybe
cats and
just.
dogs.
It,
And does that mean you have to build a stable? Do they have a specific stable you have to build for them so they
well, I
don't
think
leave?
I have to build. I didn't see that part exactly. So I came in and they'd already been live for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Rewind it. I didn't go back and watch. But from what it looked like, there might be not like a full barn like that comes with cottage living, but
Yeah.
like a little space or like a floor piece or something like that
Mhm.
that you place, and then like you can put fences around it if you want to, or they can just roam free outside on your lot. But I
Yeah.
think it might be like a little placer
Okay.
for, or I don't know, maybe they can run away like dogs. I don't know. I didn't see that part of it. Um so yeah, I don't know if they can come in the house either. I would doubt it. They'll probably be too big to fit in the door. There'll probably be a glitch that we'll see
Oh,
somewhere.
I can't wait to see like a horse halfway through the door, halfway inside of just being like, "Oh, or your horse ran away." I'm still expecting that, okay?
Yeah, your horse fell, so it trotted away. And they put the real terms in there too, which I thought was they didn't put like run, walk, jog or whatever for the horses. They put like walk, trot, or canter. So like
Hmm.
have to. That's what that's what it's called. I was like, oh, fun. They actually
Oh,
like put it in
they
there.
actually put effort in. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
this expansion pack is going to be good. I mean, also, I'm a little concerned because we've had this will be our second expansion pack this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're rushing out content then if they're putting out 2 expansion packs in 1 year, and not even like 6 months, not even 6 months apart, like 4 months apart. Like
Hold
I
on.
hope, yeah, yeah, of course.
Oh, I was off last week. He got super super used to just hanging out with me all the time.
That's okay. How is your son?
Oh, he's good.
He's good.
He's hanging
Good.
out. So
I love it. Well, I got a couple more questions for you. We're gonna wrap up about horses.
alrighty.
So well, how do you think the world's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be a really big world, a very small world?
Um, I think it's gonna feel big because you can ride around and
Mm-hmm.
do more things. That's what I've noticed with the newer worlds. There's been more open places to there's been more open places to go and do things like have a picnic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, feel bigger. There's like 13 lots, I think,
Okay.
which I think is a fairly good number.
Yeah.
Berg had like 24, or I don't know, like a lot. It
Yeah.
had a lot. And there's a good mix. There's like I know there's one 64 by 64. So there's bigger ones so you can have like stables and things, but there's also smaller ones if you don't like building on those huge lots.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then uh yeah, I think it'll be a good size. I don't like Windenburg is almost too big for me. I feel like
Okay.
I don't use the whole world all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I hope it's not like super sectioned off so that you have to like travel with your horses. I hope that it's kind of like centralized so you can like experience the whole thing and you don't have to like go into the wormhole all the time to like go places. But we'll see, you know.
I could not agree more because like my next question is like, could I be in I guess let's say Windenburg is great. Can I have my horse in Windenburg?
Right.
Can I ride my horse in Windenburg? Will the code not break? I don't know. That's the part where I'm like, I'm curious to see how this is gonna be played out.
Yeah. I mean, traveling with pets does okay. Like
Yeah.
when you the vet or you take them to the park or something like that. Like I've done enough gameplay with pets that like that's okay, but it's gonna be like if you want to go to a whole new world, it's gonna
Yeah.
be so. I wouldn't want to ride my horse in Willow Creek because where are you going? Where are you going? You know what I'm
Is
saying? Like nowhere to you're gonna ride down the sidewalks. Um, so it's I mean places I wouldn't ever go with my horse. Like I would even go to like Mount Kumarebi because they have like all those trails and like
mhm.
where you can go. So like that would be a cool world to visit like with your horse. But there are some worlds I just would stay away from because it's like, what's the point? New Crest.
All I could think is Little Nas X's when he's riding the horse down the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I could think of. I'm like, oh my god, because that's how I truly think it's gonna be. Is like, oh, your horse is here. What do we do?
Yeah. If you can you go I don't know. Like I feel like this is a precursor to them trying to give us cars. Like, are you gonna be able to ride your horse to your friend's house? Like or do you take your horse to your friend's house and then you ride horses with your friend? Like,
Right?
yeah, so I'm not sure
I'm not
how
sure either. I'm just concerned with the glitches that are gonna come with this pack.
I should go, yeah. I should go back and watch like the whole live stream to see to see what parts of it I missed. Part of me doesn't want to because I just like
Hmm.
it's almost too many spoilers for me. I want to like experience it and come up with my own opinion of it instead of like watching it on the show, especially because I'm also on console, so a lot of times things don't translate.
Yes.
So you know, we'll see if it's glitchy on here or not. But the updates that are coming before the horses are also like game changing.
What is it? Because I've been so out of the game, and unless it's called My Wedding, I don't have time to look
No,
at anything else.
uh, and it's that's why I asked you why you were doing so many podcasts. I was like, is it because you want to like bulk up before your wedding? Because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Um, but so you can take any floor paint to paint the ceiling.
Oh my God. Okay, so we saw the photo of it, and I'm like, it
Yeah,
only took 100 years, but we finally.
yeah. They did. I thought they were gonna be like, you have black, brown, or white. There you go. Like,
Yeah.
but no, it's any floor. It's any floor swatch you can paint on the ceiling, and you can paint it like the ceiling. So like, if you want like a roof beam, you could paint like a dark wood swatch and then have the middles be white. So like, it doesn't have to be a solid color. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then when you're building, this is more for console players than PC players because their mods have fixed that. But free, uh, what is it? When you're in live, so every time I take photos, I have to put a sim in the build and go into live mode to go to
Yeah.
whatever view to take photos. But you'll be able to use that view in build mode now. Yeah, so those are the two like free updates that are coming on the Tuesday before horses. So we'll have those already by the time it comes out. But those are to me those are like the two big huge bonuses for it.
Oh my God. Like honestly, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have not played The Sims since May 12th. That is just how I've not had time to
Mhm.
touch The Sims. So the fact that these two things are coming, holy balls, that is going to change my life when it comes to RC. Because now I can have goddamn ceilings,
Yeah,
stuff, and now horses. I'm literally now rewriting parts of the first book with horses. Everybody has a horse now. We're gonna talk about horses because horses were in it in the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, Someone asked me like, "Where'd the horses go?" And I'm like, "They're CC, baby. They're
Yeah.
just there. They're just there." But now, because I didn't have poses or anything, now I'm like, "Oh my god, this is going to be awesome." I'm really excited for horses. I'm also excited they're bringing in the Native American culture as well. I'm excited to have a little bit more representation in the game.
Right. And like if they didn't do that with this pack, it's just really bad because those people are the people who broke horses for us to ride. Like
Yes.
you can't not make them a part of it. Like that's just terrible. Like if they would have done that, that would have been I would have like almost wanted to not buy it because it's like you can't
You
you can't
can't.
leave it. They're a huge part of like horse culture, you know. So yeah, I was and to like put them on the cover and stuff like that too. I was like they definitely needed to do that for sure, for sure.
I could not agree more. Final question for you. What's the first horse that you're building in The Sims when you get it in
Oh,
the pack?
oh my gosh, I've thought about this so much. So I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I've read it multiple times. Do I want to build like my dream unicorn to just like ride around? Do I want to um make I've thought about like making myself um like a runaway teen with her horse
Mm-hmm.
and starting a gameplay with that and like making one of my actual horses. Um and then like my sim self as a teenager and doing that. I don't know. So I keep going back and forth. I'm like, unicorn, my real horses. Unicorn, my real horses. I don't I don't know which one I don't know which one I want. I don't know which one I want.
I would go both. I would just want to build them in the same time. I would go unicorn. I would go unicorn first. That's personally me because I'm a unicorn girl.
Yeah, I just want that will be really fun. I'll spend so much time on it because it'll be so crazy. I'll be like, oh, I can put this on it, I can put this on it, I can put this on it, and then it'll just be so gaudy and awful that people will be like, what is this unicorn? Yeah,
Oh, I could not agree more. But also, finally, you're having a horse collab, which is coming out in September.
yeah.
Yeah. How's it going? Like, is it like
Um,
filling up?
yeah, I've had more people join.
Mhm.
Um, but if they didn't have, I didn't want to like exclude people that didn't have the horse pack.
Yeah.
Um, so if you don't have the pack, you can still join. It's just like in a Western style.
Mhm.
I just grew up seeing a lot of that stuff. I love, you know, Yellowstone's super popular now too. So builds in that sort of style. But yeah, so I guess the other worlds that you can build in that I think are kind of Western themed, like Copperdale's a little bit Western themed. It's pretty I mean it's woodsy,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of horseback riding that goes on in like Oregon and things like that. So like that's kind of what makes me think of like Copperdale. And then Strangerville is also very similar.
Yeah.
Um, like they should have used Strangerville as an opportunity to highlight Native Americans, but they didn't. So Strangerville is almost the same. Like I feel like we're gonna see a lot of repeat debug items
Oh, 100%.
from Strangerville. That's happening. Like it looks very similar. Um, the rock features they're just gonna be brown instead of orange.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Yeah, they're just gonna recolor. Okay. I mean, that's
yeah,
just how for I think it was growing together. A lot of the stuff I was like, oh, like this was from Parenthood. You just recolored it. Like, okay. I noticed these things. All I do is debugged.
yeah.
Right.
I can just see it. They're at the end of The Sims 4. I can just see them doing that. Like, let's take the Strangerville things and move them over here in a different color.
Oh, we've now
Fine,
seen.
fantastic pack, and I love it, and I use it all the time. So it's
Oh,
like,
Strangerville, it's the best, one of the best packs. It
yeah,
exceeded my for the doors and windows alone. Oh my God. I use those doors and windows in
yeah. I
everything.
looked up when it came out because I wasn't a Stranger Things person, so I was like, do I even want this? And then I looked up the build and buy, and I was like, no, I just, yeah,
Yep. You got it. But no, that's awesome. I want to thank you so much for coming here today. If you like, is there still spots in your collab? Because this is coming
Oh
out
yeah.
this week. So if you're
Um,
spots, this
yeah,
is
there's spots in the collab. If you want to join, just message me on Instagram at Tattooed Simmer, and I can send you the link to my Discord. And yeah, you can choose your own lot. You can choose what you want to build, just as long as it's in the Western theme. So if you want to join, let me know. It comes out at the end of September, so we definitely still have spots open.
I'm excited. The day is actually the day after my wedding. The 20 I saw that. I was like, that's cool. Okay. By then I'll be like, I will already have built it, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's like that's my honeymoon week is like when it's coming out.
Thank goodness for like scheduled posts on Instagram, right?
Oh my God, that is like blessed. That's literally what I was doing last night. I was up from 10 to 2 a.m. this morning making thumbnails for podcasts and getting everything like pre-scheduled out, like good to go. But anyways, Tattooed Summer, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming here today. Where can we find you? Where can we find your amazing work?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch at Tattooed Simmer, and Threads now is the thing, so we don't have to deal with Twitter. So I'm there too under the same name. My gallery ID, if you want any of my builds, is GROALI2234 because it's from when I played on PC and I don't know how to change it. So
Amazing. Well, please, please, please go check out Tattooed Summer. Always welcome back. Oh my God, welcome back. Thank you for coming back.
you're
Sorry,
so
guys. It's
uh,
it's been like a year and a week.
yeah,
Well,
I
because
feel that
it's real. People are starting to RSVP to the wedding, like because like we sent out some like early invites from like we needed to get them out sooner rather than later, and people are starting to RSVP us, and I'm like, oh, okay, like this is real now. I'm getting married in like 70 days.
yeah.
Okay. This is fine. This is fine. I'm not stressed at all. Well, Tattooed Silver, thank you so much for coming back. Please go check her out. The links are going to be below. I'm excited to actually, once you start playing, you have to message me of being like, has this lived up to your expectations, or has EA done the classic EA and has done us dirty?
For sure. I sure.
I love it. Well, please go follow Tattoo Sarah. Thank you again for coming back today. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye.